I guess the catalyst for change for me was I was burnt out, and I guess I was going through all of the logical steps that we're kind of told by society to go through. I was just so overwhelmed. Yeah, I started to have a feeling of like struggling to breathe. There's some of the less glamorous parts of our life. What I really wanted was, yeah, simple life with minimal bills, nobody wanting anything from me. Sit, sit, good pig.
Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're meeting up with Bruce, who left the conventional life after a burnout.
Bruce has taken on a homestead renovation project, and we get to see exactly what's going on here, so stick around for the full tour. And we hope that you enjoy the video. Let us know in the comments what you think, and if you like it and want to see more content like this, then make sure you're subscribed. Back to it.
So my name's Bruce, and just over 4 years ago I moved here and I bought 8 acres of land and a cottage. I guess when we first moved onto the land, I had ideas of animals and growing veg and all that sort of stuff, but I've also got like a massive renovation task which is still going on now. Anyway, I dived in head first and I got pigs and goats and hens and 3 dogs, 2 of which are complete terrorists. And then I've been on a journey with that where I probably shouldn't have got any animals. I actually say to a lot of people I could write a really good book on how not to start a homestead, because I've made pretty much every mistake there is possible, and probably going to make a load more as well. I guess the catalyst for change for me was I was burnt out. So I had a business converting camper vans. I had a house, a lovely house with a huge mortgage. There was a massive commitment, and I guess I was going through all of the logical steps that we're kind of told by society to go through. You know, buy your first house, sell that one, get a bigger one, yeah, pursue a career and chasing the money. And it was hell. Like, it really burnt me out. So that was the beginning of the burnout. And then I was just like, right, how can I be at home? And so then I started a business. Yeah, I was never a businessman. I was like an accidental businessman. So I wasn't built for it in the head anyway. I was just so overwhelmed, and yeah, I started to have a feeling of like struggling to breathe. I actually convinced myself I had COPD or lung cancer or something, and I was going to and from the doctors just telling them I can't breathe properly. Yeah, Annie, my wife, said to me, "You're anxious," and I was just like, I know what being anxious feels like. I'm not anxious. And in the end she just dropped the bomb on me and said, "This isn't working. I think we need to sell everything, move into the van and go traveling." And I was just like, are you serious right now? I said, all right, we'll do that. So yeah, sold the house, sold the business, sold everything we owned, moved into my little blue camper van over there, me, Annie, 2 kids and a dog, and hit the road. All of a sudden I just could get a full breath and realised actually I've been suffering with some level of anxiety for quite a long time. I felt lovely just to be able to take that deep breath in, all the way in. We've been in the van a very short amount of time, all of a sudden just remembered, you know, my original dream from back in my 20s, where I was like, I actually just want to be on a bit of land and I want to live very simply. And I was never interested really in pursuing money. I just wanted a simple life. And so, yeah, we then spent the rest of the time traveling, but also keeping our eyes open for an opportunity. Annie's half Irish. We've been coming to Ireland for a long time, and we'd often fantasized, you know, visiting family about actually just moving over and staying here. And then whenever we were here, just like, this is it. And so we were looking, and yeah, we found this place over 4 years ago and haven't looked back. Okay, so this is my house. It's very quirky. It's the house that Jack built. Every little bit of work I do on it, I find a little bit more, but it's my home and I love it. Yeah, I have 8 acres here.
All right guys, just want to say a big thanks to our sponsor today, Emma Sleep. This is the Emma Hybrid Thermosync mattress, packed with features to give you the best night's sleep, which we all know is pretty important. One of my favourite things is the motion absorption. When my partner moves or gets up in the night, I don't feel a thing. Deep, uninterrupted sleep every night. I also get so hot at night, even with the windows open in winter. But the Thermosync technology keeps the temperature perfectly balanced. No more waking up sweaty at 3 AM. I'm a side sleeper and my partner's a back sleeper, and somehow we're both comfy, thanks to the infinity pocket springs that give support in any position. We've also got the premium mattress topper for that extra layer of luxury. And the cloud pillows. They've got removable layers so you can adjust the height and firmness, plus cooling outlast technology to stay sweat-free all night. Right now, Emma's having a huge Black Friday sale, up to 30% off until December the 1st, and you can use our code for an extra 6% off. There's a 200-night trial, free delivery and returns, and a 10-year guarantee, so it's literally risk-free and a no-brainer. And a big thanks to Emma Sleep for sponsoring this video. Back to it.
Yeah, I have 8 acres here. Hadn't been farmed for probably a minimum of 8 years, but since being here, putting animals on the land, it's kind of changed it all back into pasture and looking really, really nice. So as we walk through here, this is a present I bought my wife. It's a wood-fired hot tub, and it's absolutely amazing to be out here. It's the nicest when it's pissing it rain. Can I say that on there? Yeah. It gives the feeling that I live quite remote, but yeah, I'm 15 minutes away from my nearest town. I always kind of say that like I'm close enough, but far enough. So this is like my main field. And you can see on my left here, I've got an orchard, which we've been adding to pretty much since year 1 really. And this is actually our first year where we're getting a proper harvest from all the trees this side, because these were the first ones planted. And you can see as the rows go on, these are newer and newer trees. So this little cabin that you see here is actually a bathroom and a kitchen that was originally building for what was my yurt. Had a beautiful yurt here, had a panoramic view across, and then we had a massive storm, the biggest storm we've had since living here. Completely imploded, destroyed all this. So I'm now currently in my workshop building a geozome, not to be confused with a geodome, and that's going to be going on the original yurt deck. So these are 2 pygmy goats, Treasure and Belle. Also a couple of terrorists that spent a lot of their lives this side of the fence rather than that side. Like I said earlier, I could write a book on how not to start a homestead. Don't get any animals until you've got the vast majority of your building work done. They haven't been bred, they haven't been milked, they just graze away. Guess they keep the grass down there. They're a low maintenance lawn mower. Amongst these guys I've got 11 hens. We get plenty of eggs. In fact, in peak production, we'll have more eggs than we can eat, and I eat a lot of eggs. There's some of the less glamorous parts of our life. This is our compost toilet. I built this out of pallets and top slabs and trees. Yeah, it's pretty basic. You got a separator and a bucket in the back. Good old-fashioned outhouse. Yeah, this is the main toilet for us right now, which on days like today is lovely, but middle of winter when it's lashing it down and really cold, yeah, there's a bit of resistance. A bit of resistance to going outside. So this is my polytunnel. It's 40 foot long. You can grow anything in a polytunnel pretty much. Our outdoor beds aren't ready yet, so our garlic that we've grown every year, we grow a year's worth of garlic every year to see us through, including for seed. And we grow it in the polytunnel, which most people wouldn't waste polytunnel space on something like that. But just because it's our only growing space at the moment that's functional, that's what we do. We've even grown spuds in there before. Yeah, so I've got 5 beehives here. This year, I actually haven't taken any honey this year, but I really should, because I'm almost certain I've got at least a couple of supers worth. But I don't take honey and supplement, so I'll only take honey if I feel like they've got it to give. So this is probably one of my bigger hives. There's a small hive down there, and I've got 2 more hives over there, and I've got another hive just over in the pine trees over there. So to my left, this is my firewood storage, which I've tacked on to the front of my cow shed. It's not used as a cow shed anymore, it's used for storing all sorts of junk. No. I'm off grid for everything apart from electricity. I've got a well for water, I've got wood for heating the house, but I have currently got a gridded electricity connection. But the long-term plan is I'm going to be having solar panels on the cowshed roof, and then I'm going to be using the grid as my backup, basically. On this side, this is my workshop. This is my happy place. Although if you walk in now, it is a complete mess because I'm in the middle of building a zone. I'm just going to take you down now to see Copper and Rascal, who are two cooney pigs. Our hardest workers. They clear all brambles and all the stuff that we don't want, but also quite good because if you've got young trees, not super young trees, but like, you know, maybe 3-4 year olds, you can put them in there and they won't knock them over, they just have everything around it. So, right, sit, good pig. Oh, you, sit, good pig. Copper and Rascal. Well, I got them mainly for land clearance. And what's cool, they'll go through, they'll get the brambles up and they'll chew every root, and they just leave you with the woody ball. But plus they're very cute. It's very funny, if they break out, they just come straight to the house because they know the bucket of food is going to be there for them to lead them back into the pen. The system that we live in is very good at just getting the blinkers on. And I'm not saying that the way I'm doing things is the right way and the way other people do it is the wrong way. I think there's like a lot of different paths you can go down. But ultimately, I think everybody just wants freedom, and the method of acquiring freedom can look very different. My method was, at that point, like, I'd participated in, for want of a better word, the rat race for long enough that, you know, I bought the houses, even though they were absolutely crippling me mentally, but I had equity. So I sold everything that I had, like even the possessions, anything that didn't fit into the van went, and then I just took that lump sum and did what I did now. I think what was good about doing it the way that I've done it is that it just took all the pressure off. Like I realized, like, very early on, that I hadn't felt that free since I was a child, you know, when you're looked after and, you know, you don't even know what a bill is, you know, and all of a sudden I was just like, oh my God. I just realized that there's probably a vast majority of the population that lived how I was, under pressure from various different angles, you know, and you're trying to also be a parent and be a good partner. Meanwhile, just, I don't know, holding this weight that you don't even know you're carrying. It was an amazing reset to be able to just stop and physically just remove all of those pressures. I also recognize that I'm extremely privileged. Like, what I've done isn't an option for everybody. Luckily it was an option for me, and it gave me clarity as to what I actually wanted. And actually what I really wanted was, yeah, simple life with minimal bills, nobody wanting anything from me. Yeah, so everything I'm doing now is a choice. And I've got a job now that I love. And it's probably the lowest paid job I've ever had, but it's been the nicest job I've ever had. And fortunately for me, I've got myself in a position where, even though it's the lowest paid job that I've ever had, I'm actually more financially free now than I ever have been in the past. We live quite frugally. I've got a wood burning stove for heat, so I spend a lot of time chopping and splitting, stacking firewood. So straight away that's a big cost kind of out. But I think the thing that cripples everybody is just rent and a mortgage. Like, that's what keeps us kind of a slave. And we have, you know, it's very hard to see any other option other than to participate in that, because that's what 99% of people do. I think moving into the van made me think that if I was to lose everything again tomorrow, I wouldn't try and get myself back here in the same way. I think the shorter route would be, if you were willing and up for it, would be to live alternatively. You know, I'd just live in my van. I already done it for a year and it was great. Yeah, so this is the house anyway. This used to be my house. You wouldn't believe it, but there was 4 of us in there and a dog. But this is Pickles the camper van.
And did that open up this lifestyle for you, do you think?
Oh, definitely made me realise how little space you actually need. You know, you see these big massive houses, but when we moved into here, I felt like I'd moved into a mansion.
Come and have a look inside.
Come and have a look inside. Maybe I say that less dorky. Come and have a look inside. Come and have a look inside. It's the front door, rotting and falling apart in front of our very eyes. These are the food bins for the animals. Barley, dog food, cat food. So this is the porch. It's built out of telegraph poles and single glazed sideways doors. So this is the kitchen. You see, it's like lots of like weird little things here. We kind of like half. This is the thing we moved in. We should not have moved in. I should have built like a little temporary accommodation or get a mobile home or something like that. Yeah, so I've got a Berkey. We're on a well here. I had the water tested early days and it did fail, quite high iron, and this is a great bit of kit because it takes out heavy metals, viruses, bacteria, that kind of thing. So drinking water comes out there, and then this is just straight from the well. All that being said, I wash the dishes, brush my teeth, I've never got ill. I feel like maybe it's made a healthy microbiome. Heating, I'm really hoping that I haven't left any mess anyway because Annie will kill me tonight. Yeah, so yeah, this is the stove. This literally heats the whole house. You wouldn't believe it, but genuinely, since insulating the upstairs, you could be upstairs in a t-shirt, downstairs in a jacket because there's no insulation down here, and that's just a 9.5 kilowatt stove. This, well, actually normally we dry the clothes in the polytunnel. I've got sort of 2 big long washing lines, and I don't know why this is up here. Maybe just this was an easier route, or maybe it was absolutely lashing it down, or it was the middle of the night when the washing machine was done. In the winter I do dry a lot of clothes up here. Yeah, this is our garlic. We've got like a selection here. That's elephant garlic. So you see the cloves on that are absolutely massive. And actually when I first saw this, Annie had harvested, I thought, oh, did you buy that? Because it was so white, but she just actually peeled the top layer off. And because actually the stuff I think you find in some supermarkets, the white stuff is actually bleached that colour. I grow trees on an organic tree nursery, and all of the knowledge that I've got within there very quickly highlighted to me that you don't want to buy non-organic. I used to be a bit like, oh, it's just food is food, but it's not all of it's the same. Like some vegetables and fruits will pick up more of the glyphosate, the Roundup, the weed killer, and that's getting into our systems. So yeah, wherever possible, I'll buy organic, and obviously everything we grow is organic. Just under the master staircase, that's my bedroom. Probably don't want to look in there, it's a mess. Well, I've got a ladder currently because my plan, I need to take those floors up downstairs. Currently, if you put a ball in one corner of the house, it'll roll all the way down to the other corner, and that's not subsidence, it's just the way the floors were put in. So I'm going to be putting an insulated concrete slab. So until I've got that done, I can't put a proper staircase in. So that's why I've got the ladder. But up here, this is about as finished as it's going to get. I built all these cupboards myself. I guess this is like our living room now, because we've got a TV on the wall. Elsie's bedroom in there, Betsy's bedroom in there. And it's been great actually, especially in the winter. Last winter was the most enjoyable winter we'd had because I've got 100 mil of insulation in the roof, and you can actually even feel just from the sun coming through the windows it's significantly warmer in here, whereas it's probably a good few degrees colder downstairs. Now this is kind of like our original living room / dining room. Now the living room is kind of upstairs in that middle room that I've just shown you. So this actually is unusual. Doug, get off there. These beds are in here actually because we had a French exchange. So this normally just is storage. It's actually become really handy. There's been a couple of times friends have stayed there and was like, take a bed if you want. There's a bed there for you.
Would you say, Bruce, this is a good life that you're living?
Yeah, mostly. Most of the time it's good. I kind of like rushing for the finish line sometimes, of wanting everything to be finished so I can enjoy it. And I have to remind myself that it's the journey, not the destination, that old kind of classic. I think anything's achievable. You know, like when me and Annie first got together and she was pregnant with Elsie, our eldest, I owed money, I had no car, nowhere to live. Like that was the starting block. And I know it's harder now, so that's not me trying to say, put out your bootstraps, but I'm just saying that that's where I started from, and then this is where I am. But there's been a lot of hardship getting here. I guess the real question is there a nicer, easier path than that to get here? Maybe, let me know. God, this lifestyle's just given me like extreme gratitude. I guess my favourite thing about living like this is the pace of life. The worst thing's probably when things are going wrong with the animals. You know, they're sovereign beings. When they decide they want to act up or break out. Am I happier now? I am, I think, overall significantly happier. I'm a lot less stressed. I don't have anxiety. And I guess in that, yeah, that doesn't necessarily transmute into happiness, but to not feel super stressed out or super anxious about stuff, it certainly helps. Yeah, I mean, it's a question I often get asked is, how do you do it? And I feel like obviously it's an obvious question, and it's one that I wish I could give a definitive answer to, but obviously it just depends on your life situation. Like my life situation was that I had equity in a house and equity in a business, which not everybody has. There might be some people like watching this video that are literally, you know, renting and struggling, maybe even got debt, you know, and that seems hopeless. But I have, as a thought experiment, thought to myself, like, what would I do if just I had, you know, the slate got wiped clean, I had, you know, minimal money. I would probably just really seek out an alternative way of life, and that could look like having a caravan and asking a landowner whether you can park there in exchange for a bit of work, or whether you can pay a small rent, and all of a sudden, you know, you haven't got rent to pay, you've got minimal bills, and all of a sudden you just opened up a lot more of your income that you can save and put towards a piece of land, or I don't know, a boat, or like whatever it is, whatever your goal is. Well, I hope you've enjoyed having a tour of my land and finding out a little bit about me. If you have enjoyed that, I've actually got my own YouTube channel, Offgrid Bruce. It's a bit wrong really, because I'm technically on grid. There's a pylon over there. But the dream initially was to be off-grid. I just haven't changed the name yet. But you can follow me over on YouTube. Maybe I'll start making a few more vids on there. Thanks for watching.
Alright guys, thanks for tuning in there, and a big thanks to Bruce for inviting us over and showing us around.
Make sure to follow him on the socials. All the links for that will be down below in the description. And we hope that you enjoyed the video. Let us know in the comments what you think, because we love to hear it. And if you like it and want to see more content just like this, then make sure you're subscribed. We'll see you in the next one.